Hello everybody, if you're here it's because you want to see a review on this monitor. It is the Samsung class 32-inch curved monitor, and it is 75 Hertz with a 4 millisecond response time. So it's a pretty fast, good setup for a basic gaming setup, and that's kind of what I'm using it for, although we're also using it for remote work, so we can have a lot more images up on screen at once without resorting to a dual monitor setup that I don't really have room for on my desk. So we're going from a 24-inch to a 32-inch. And it's going to be for a price of just under $200 at $199 from Sam's Club. So I believe on Amazon I saw this priced out around $250, so a little bit of a price premium there. So if you remember at Sam's Club, you can get it a little cheaper. They also have a 27-inch model that will give you some of the same benefits, but it's flat and it's still 75 Hertz. So a little bit better than the 60 Hertz, and you get that benefit, but it's a little bit smaller. Still bigger than 24, but not quite as big as 32. The color on the edge is like a gunmetal gray, and all you're going to see here is me unboxing it as well as just running through the quick installation guide. Towards the end you'll see some actual gameplay with it, but just keep in mind, because the frame rate of recording and the refresh rate on the monitor are different, you will see some artifacts on the monitor screen. That is not indicative of the monitor's performance, it's just indicative of how there's a difference between what the camera records at versus what the monitor refreshes at. It causes some weird little lines and some pixelation that is not accurate and does not exist during actual gameplay or use of the monitor. Alright guys, setup on this thing is super easy. The main thing you're going to have to do is first get the stand fully set up. It'll come with that little tripod, and then you have to attach on the mount for the back bracket, and that's pretty simple. It just has a little thumb screw kind of key at the bottom, and it only goes on one way. If it won't go on properly, it means it's on backwards, so just reverse what you're doing and it'll all be fine. And here you see me just going ahead and taking out all the little PC parts. There really aren't that many. Most of it was just inventory, making sure the HDMI cable was in proper shape and everything. But once we get the shroud off, or this little protective cover off the monitor itself, you should be good to go. One note, there is no protective film over top of the screen, so please be extra careful. So there was no super satisfying final peel. But here we go. This is just putting the tripod and attaching the mounting bracket for the back. These monitors will also work with a separate mounting bracket for a wall bracket or for a separate desk bracket system you might already have. And there you see this thumb screw at the bottom. Again, this only attaches one way. If it doesn't sit flush, it means you got it on backwards, so you should be good to go once you get that thing situated. But it's just a thumb screw tightening system. It's not meant to have any separate tools. In fact, there are no separate tools that come with this item, so everything's meant to be kind of self-contained. Alright, so this next part is basically how the mounting bracket goes on with this base bracket. So you see these two little slots, they match up with those two slots on the base, and you kind of got to tilt the screen towards the back of the base, so towards the angle in the base. Tilt it backwards and it'll slide in, and then it'll tilt it forward again and it'll slide in flush and kind of make a clicking sound. So tilt it back and then tilt it back forward once those two little prongs go in, and then it should just snap right into place and you'll be good to go. But it should slide right in. You see my hair? This is my excellent editing ability. There you go. And it should sit flush. There shouldn't be anything protruding. It should be basically a nice, flat, smooth seam with just your standard gaps that will come with any given product like this. And you do your final checks to make sure you're not going to pick this thing up and have fallout, because if you don't get it in there flush and it doesn't click, it means when you pick this thing up by the monitor, the stand might fall off, and you don't want that. So here's the thing set up. The only thing you get the satisfaction of peeling off are these little side protective films, just to keep the sides from scratching in transit. But again, note this is an LCD screen, so there doesn't appear to be any kind of peel off here. This is not a glass front screen, it's LCD. So that means you get the higher refresh rate, but you also use a little more power than an LED screen does. Alright, now as far as the gaming thing goes, this comes with FreeSync software that's powered by AMD. That means that if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you are out of luck. You will not be able to make use of the FreeSync software. That will need a G-Sync monitor. They're more expensive. It only comes with an HDMI port. The only way you can make an NVIDIA graphics card work with FreeSync, because now it does, is using the display port. There is no display port option on this monitor, therefore there is no way for you to actually use FreeSync by AMD using an NVIDIA graphics card. So if it says NVIDIA GTX, you're kind of out of luck with this, so you might want to look elsewhere if that's something you're kind of thinking you want to have. I will say most games have VSync, which kind of eliminates some of the need for that, but you are maxed out at 75 hertz on this. And I will also say this, the only way I was able to get 75 hertz out of this monitor was to go into the advanced settings in Windows 10 and pull down the menu and basically change it. It won't do it automatically. Your games won't do it automatically. And at first, because I have NVIDIA graphics cards, when I set it up and use the NVIDIA control panel, it would not register that it hit 75 hertz. I had to go into the Windows option to make it happen. So here's just me running through it, just making sure you can see everything, and the colors are pretty much true. You see that reflection there? That reflection's from a back window. You're going to see me turn the camera in a moment. That reflection is not accurate to what I see visually with my own eyes. That's a little bit of pickup from the camera being a little sensitive, so you don't have to worry too much about reflection. I don't feel it, and I work during the day with a light right behind me. I don't see any reflection. There is no glare to the best of my ability to see. You're just seeing it here because the camera is light sensitive and picking up a little bit too much of the light. If I turn down the settings, you probably wouldn't see it, but you just got to kind of take my word for it. Hey, there's Reagan in the background. You just got to take my word for it that that amount of light does not reflect in general use to the human eye, at least to the extent that my vision can pick it up. So other than that, I think it was a great purchase. 32-inch monitor for $200, 75 hertz. So obviously not 144 hertz, but still pretty good. You get a little bit of improvement over 60 frames per second if you're gaming. You also get true color. It looks there. You see me playing Fall Guys. There you can also kind of see those lines that pop up. Again, that's all just an artifact from the difference between the camera's recording speed versus the at this point I have it set to 60 hertz speed from the actual monitor, kind of making things leave artifacts behind. But the color looks nice. It looks good with all videos. I play some 4K stuff on here every now and then just to see how it looks, and it looks really good even though it's only rated for 1080p. And overall, really happy with the purchase, and it looks good on the desk, and I can see lots of documents all at once, which means I can get more work done when I'm doing my remote work, and it's a little bit easier. Other than that, that's the whole review, guys. If you like it, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, I usually respond to them pretty quickly. But other than that, that's all I got for you. Thank you for watching. My wife just has some commentary, also mentioned that it is very, very tall. So if you're a short person, you will not be able to see over the screen. So if someone's going to sneak up on you in your house and they happen to be sneaking up on you in front of you, you won't see them. That's just an addendum from my wife. Tell her thank you in the comments. Have a great day.